I swear I will not kill anyone.
You just can't go around killing people.
Why? Come with me if you want to live.
Okay, the last movie in this entire series. Here it is. This isn't the last episode, but it is the last movie. So, let me turn up my mic a little bit. And this is, I mean, I don't understand some of the hate for it, but it is what it is. This is Terminator Dark Fate. I realize I look really tired. It's just the way it is. Sometimes I do this. Sometimes I'm just tired during the day. This happens, you know. Don't know what to tell you. I get these bags under my eyes. It's very weird. I'm alive and awake. So, all right, little backstory of this. Now, Terminator Dark Fate came out in 2019, so this is going to be one of the very few DC covers where I'm going to avoid spoilers because this is a relatively new film. It's only 2 years old. Now, like if a movie came out in 2007 and I'm doing spoilers and you get spoiled, that's on you because you didn't watch that movie yet. It's like working at Blockbuster when I would kind of spoil The Shining or something like that. I'm like, it came out in the 70s. Like, how have you not seen it yet? That's your fault for not watching it. But on the other hand, the Game of Thrones, you know, if someone spoils that's only been out for like a few years. So, you know, sometimes it takes a few years to get around to watching something, but not 30. Come on, man. But 2019, gonna avoid it. It's only 2 years old. I watched it in theaters, and I loved the movie. It's just a really good movie. It's got a good story. It's got good acting, great action. James Cameron produced it. I really enjoyed it. And then I got home. I'm like, all right, now that I've seen the movie, I'm going to check out all these people that love this movie just like I did. And I'm checking the reviews. The critic reviews were genuinely positive. It's just generally positive. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, it was a pretty good movie. But the fan reviews were just like murdering it. Like, it was horrible. They hated the movie, and whatever. People just need to get over it. There was a lot of people said it was too woke and all that. Like, there's just, but I don't know. I don't understand that because it's just because it stars women doesn't mean it's woke. Yeah, whatever. I loved it. So, it's directed by Tim Miller. Tim Miller directed Deadpool. Deadpool was awesome, and actually, this is one of his very first films because Deadpool was his first film. So, and that's like hitting a home run at your first at bat because Deadpool was awesome. This I wouldn't say was as good as Deadpool, but it's still like it's killer. And then the writer for this was David Goyer, who wrote an absolute ton of good films. Dark City, you know, the Alex Proyas movie, killer movie. The Blade trilogy. He wrote the Batman trilogy, and I'm talking about the Dark Knight Rises, Batman Begins, Batman trilogy. And David Goyer is awesome. So you have a killer director and a killer writer right off the bat. And then you get to the cast, the cast is Sarah Connor, played by Linda Hamilton. Linda Hamilton came back, finally, because she said she would not come back unless James Cameron was attached, and he is, and she comes back, and she is Sarah Connor. She's a very, she's Terminator 2-esque, and but she has a reason why she's much harder in this movie. She's much more emotional, much more rough. Her whole thing is she kills Terminators in this. That she's a Terminator hunter. Awesome arc. We have, in a lesser role, Arnold Schwarzenegger as the T-800, the Terminator. This will be my one and only spoiler. He plays Carl. I won't tell you who Carl is or how he is important to the story, but he is Carl. And it's interesting. He's important to the story in two ways. Very cool. We have Grace, played by Mackenzie Davis. Grace is your savior here. And for the first time since Terminator 1, the savior is not a Terminator. She is human, but she is augmented. She can take damage, stuff like that. The problem is she does have to have shots of certain medications because she is made. Her energy and her metabolism is made, as she says it in the movie, is made for short bursts. Because if you can't kill a Terminator in the first 2 minutes, you're going to die. So it works, and so she's super powerful, super strong, super fast for a small amount of time. And it's very cool. Her fight scenes in this are really neat. Yes, they are mostly CG, but it's decent CG. It's not like really bad CG. Next we have our lady in distress, sort of. But she's not really, because she's kind of strong. And it's Danny, played by Natalia Reyes. She is... It's hard to tell her story without spoilers. So I'll just say that she is a very Sarah Connor-like character. So think Sarah Connor from Terminator 2, because she's a little stronger. But also she's a little John Connor, which is very cool as well. So this is very awesome. And then our antagonist, which I think is one of the coolest antagonists in this entire series, is the Rev 9, played by Gabriel Luna. He is phenomenal in this. It's so awesome. If you see by the picture, his skin is separating from the exoskeleton, and it's something he can do. He's like a T-1000 mixed with a T-800. He can actually separate his skin from the exoskeleton and become two, where the exoskeleton's coming at you and he is coming at you. And that is so awesome. And it makes for some great action. Man, and he's smarter than all the other ones. He adapts better than all the other ones, and it's... Oh man, he's so good. Like the first scene, it's kind of a spoiler scene, but it's not really a spoiler. But his first scene when he appears is like he comes naked, of course, and he's like looking at this lady holding a T-shirt. He just smiles at her, and then touches the T-shirt, and then the T-shirt forms on him, and it's like, that is so cool. Like there's a neat, and but the time machines in this one are a little odd because in every single Terminator, the time machine comes up in a ball and it sets everything around it on fire. It's like, okay. In this one, the ball forms and it freezes everything. But, small spoiler here, it's not from Skynet. It's from a new thing. It's from a new thing called Legion. And yeah, because it talks about at the very beginning of the movie, so I'm not really spoiling much, but this movie does take place after Terminator 2 and erases Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation, Terminator Genesis. It erases everything, and you just start fresh from Terminator 2, which is cool. I don't mind it when movies do that. Some people do. So it starts fresh, and it starts right after Terminator 2, and Skynet is destroyed. All right, so that's your main plot of the movie. Skynet's done. So the plot is, why are there still Terminators? Well, there you go. And I give a chef's kiss moment to the very, very, very start of the movie. The very start, when the 20th Century Fox comes up and all that. You get little flashes. And if you remember, one of my chef's kiss moments from Terminator 2 was Sarah Connor's speech when they're like got the camera on her in the insane asylum, and they fly apart like leaves. They show that thing in its entirety, but they keep showing it's like they show a piece of it, and then it'll like fade away, and the 20th Century Fox came up, and then and it shows that again. And it's like the way they did it, the way they mixed it in to let you know that this starts after Terminator 2. It's like they fly apart like leaves. Anyone not wearing 2 million sunblock is going to have a real bad day. Get it? And going to have some language here. This is R. This is the first rated R Terminator since Terminator 3. Yeah, and they let you know right away because you're the one living in a fucking dream, Silberman. They have that. Yeah, so very cool. A lot of F-bombs in this movie. This is a R-rated movie. Very cool. So chef's kiss moment to that, man. Wow. But we get it. We got the main part. One of the main reasons for people hating this movie was the opening scene, not the production scene that I just mentioned chef's kiss for. There is an opening scene where something happens. Some of you already know, but for those of you who don't know what happens in the first 10 minutes of this movie, to me, I love it because it changes the game. It changes the story, it changes the game, and it lets you know no one is safe. I love movies that do that let you know that absolutely no one in this movie is safe. No, anyone could die, and I love that. So that's a thing. It happens, and people hated it. But from here, the movie goes on, and it's something. We have and the good guy shows up before the bad guy in this one. It's very crazy. So there's another chef's kiss moment when our good guy, our Grace, we meet all of Danny and her brother and everybody. We meet Grace, everybody, and Grace is coming to save Danny. We don't know why, and we actually don't find out the whole story until damn near the end of the movie. Like, you get a snippet of it in just before the middle of the movie. She's like, basically, oh, you're very important, and you get something. But the full reveal is at the end of the movie, and you're like, okay, cool. It's not like one of those real moments where you're like, whoa. You're just like, oh, okay, cool. There's no like moments like that, and there's no twists that are like that. So, but I do get another chef's kiss moment in like we have a fight between Grace and the Rev 9 in a factory that is phenomenal. I wouldn't give it a chef's kiss moment, but it is phenomenal. I would give it an honorary chef's kiss moment, but it's like you have that, and then they're on the run because she even says, you don't kill a Rev 9, you run. Cool. She knows what a Rev 9 is, and these Terminators, like she sees Terminators and stuff like that, and it's nuts because she knows everything about them. It's fantastic. So, but I give a chef's kiss moment to the intro of Sarah Connor, because we get a huge, awesome car chase, really cool car chase, and it stops, and the Rev 9 is going to slaughter Grace and Danny, and then Sarah Connor pulls up, and just nonchalantly, it's the way she does it. She pulls up, stops the truck, steps out, just walks up, pulls out a huge gun, and just starts blowing away the Terminators. Like, just nonchalantly kicking ass. And that's a chef's kiss moment for me. Just mwah, beautiful. Just pow, pow, pow. Just, and it's just, she even blows it up, has this grenade, she looks down at it, just like boom, and just walks away, shoots a rocket launcher at a Terminator exoskeleton like it's nothing. Just like, all right, drops the grenade, and she's like, I'll be back. Just walks around. It's like, wow. Terminator, the freaking Sarah Connor kicking ass. All right, good job. Good on you, Sarah. Cool moment. Love it. But we do learn more about Legion, because when Sarah Connor is like, oh, why'd Skynet send you to Grace? And she's, who the hell is Skynet? Like, I don't know what Skynet is. And then we see, okay, and Sarah, you can see it dawn on Sarah's face. She's just like, oh, okay, so we did change the future. And it's like, all right. Like, then it's but Sarah's backstory here is she has she's a Terminator killer, and there is someone, I'm thinking of ways to do this without spoilers, and there is, she gets text messages every now and then about a coordinate and a time to be there. And she goes, the sky opens up, a Terminator falls through, and she kills the Terminator. So someone knows where Skynet is sending their Terminators, and she is taking them out. That's her whole story. She's not there to rescue Danny. She's there to take out Terminators. But when she learns about Danny, she wants to save Danny. So it is Sarah and Grace protecting Danny, and it could be like, really, Danny doesn't necessarily need the help. She's kind of cool. So there is a scene though I learned while making this. Because Grace and Sarah do not get along in this movie. They do not like each other. Because Grace needs to protect Danny, and Sarah's trying to step on her toes, and she's like, "This is my job. Back the fuck off." And then there's many moments when they're facing off. You got Sarah and her talking at the car, and she's like, "If you ever get in my way, I will fuck you up." She says it, and it's great. But there is a moment where I know there's a lot of language here, but there's a moment when they're escaping, and Sarah is dawning on Sarah that for once she's not the one needing to be rescued, and it's so just like, it's so great because she's breathing a sigh of relief. Now, to tell this part, because it's a fact, I'm going to put a spoiler warning on here for you to fast forward about a minute. I'm not going to say anything after it, but I'll tell you when to start fast forwarding, because it is a spoiler, a huge spoiler, but it's something that I found very interesting. So, all right. So the line goes, whenever Sarah says, "That's fine, let someone else be Mother Mary for a while." Spoiler warning, fast forward now. So Grace, in her response is, "If you're Mother Mary, then why do I want to beat the shit out of you?" The original line was, "The only thing you and Mother Mary have in common is a dead son." And the audiences all went, "Oh!" And they hated it because they were like, "That's too soon and that's too harsh." So they cut it out of the movie and put the "beat the shit out of you" line in there. So that's good. Now that's over. But that is something that happened in the movie, and I had to give you spoiler warning on that because it is awesome. But there's another chef's kiss moment after this that I had to get to, which was one of the moments when the Rev 9 is adapting. And they actually, this isn't really a spoiler, it's kind of just a thing. Sarah, Grace, and Danny are in a border control holding cell, and they're escaping. And the Rev 9 is just myrtleizing border control. He's not killing any of the immigrants. And a lot of people looked at that like, oh, that's a political statement. They're saying that the border control needs to die. That's not what that was. He's killing all the border control because they all have weapons and none of the immigrants do. Terminators don't kill innocent. They kill innocents, but they don't kill people who are not a threat. And none of the immigrants were a threat. So he's only killing border control. He just slice. Very cool. He has little knives. He can, like a T-1000, he's slicing people up, murderizing folks. And at the end of it, he comes out and he runs into two cops. He needs a helicopter. He runs into two cops and he's just like, it's just what gets the chef's kiss moment. He speaks in a Latin dialect the entire movie because he adapts to everything. And when he sees the two Texas cops, he switches it to a Texas accent. And that's what gets the chef's kiss from me, because it's his adapting to the situation. He's like, "Oh man, are you all right?" And the Rev 9's like, "Oh man, I prayed more in 5 minutes than I have my whole life." And I'm like, yes, he's like playing into people and using his intellect, and I love that. How can I get these people to give me what I want without causing trouble, causing a scene, because that'll delay me. I know I'll play to their emotions. Very awesome, love it, chef's kiss moment. We do meet Carl, which I told you beforehand that it's a little minor spoiler. That is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it is an old Terminator who has been living life here on the world, and he has a wife and a kid, and he's very odd, but you have to watch it. It's very cool. We see that one of the things that T3 played with was the fact that Judgment Day is inevitable. Okay, so they stopped Skynet, but it's going to happen eventually. That was one of the points of Terminator 3. Okay, well, this movie kind of plays with a reverse. Like, if bad can happen, then good is inevitable too. So it's a very cool moment. There's a cool moment in there that shows that the good can be inevitable. And it's like they do say stuff like, they say no fate a lot in this one. That's a huge point of this, is there's no fate but what we make for ourselves. And given what happens, it's not exactly true. It's something's going to happen no matter what. It is kind of your fate to be this person. So, yeah, that's kind of thrown up. But anyway, the next chef's kiss moment would be the cargo plane fight and the Hummer. They get on a cargo plane. The Terminator gets there. It's Terminator versus Terminator. It's Sarah versus the Rev 9. It's Danny versus the Rev 9. It's Grace versus the Rev 9. It's a very cool thing. Yes, a lot of CGI, but the action in it is so cool. I love it. And then the last chef's kiss is the ending. And let me tell you, it is a damn good ending because it takes place in a dam. Damn good. I am so lonely. So it's cool. The dam fight is very cool because the standoff is neat. The three of them versus the Rev 9, and they're all attacking him at the same time, and it's just a really cool ending. I love this movie. It's very, very neat. Sorry, I loved it, but yeah. An honorary chef's kiss goes to the Rev 9 itself. Very awesome. But that's pretty much the end of the movie. It is going to be this is shorter because I tried to avoid spoilers. If I spoiled something for you, I apologize. But just go watch the movie. It's not like The Sixth Sense, where if I spoil the ending for you, it kind of ruins the movie. It's not like that. If I spoil something for you in this movie, it just makes another movie because it is what it is. But this whole movie, man, 8 out of 10. Legit. I give this an 8 out of 10. I love this movie. I mean, is it better than Terminator 2, Terminator 1? No, it's not as good as those, but it's still pretty freaking good. I like this movie. I know a lot of people didn't like it. There are people out there that didn't necessarily hate it. They just didn't. They just never got them. It's like it never caught my attention. I understand, dude, and I don't hate people who hate this movie. It is what it is. People have different opinions. So, but to me, this is the best movie since Terminator 2. But saying that, though, that's like, it's not saying much because Terminator 3 wasn't great. Salvation was terrible. Genesis was awful. So it's like, yeah, but I liked it, man. All right, but the next one is the final episode in this DC Covers this series. It'll be the retrospective. It'll be a much shorter retrospective, I promise you, because in most of these retrospectives, I do lists for 19 things, and this one I'm doing lists for only 3. I'm going to do the good guys, the bad guys, and the Terminator films themselves. That's all I'm doing. And they're not even going to have graphics. It's just going to be me doing my lists and moving the hell on. So, because there's no point in putting up the pictures and all that. I give you these cast pictures so you know who they are. That way you can be like, oh yeah, that person. I do want to see this movie. Because my point of these reviews is to get you to watch these movies. Like, hey, you just watch this series. It's really good. This is the whole point of it. There is no, like, and in the retrospective, there is no reason to like make you want to watch anything. It's just like, that's just my opinion on what the top movies are. And a lot of people agree with me on some of these, so it's really cool. But the retrospective is next. So watch that. Thank you for watching this, all 10 of you. I love you all. It's really cool. And once again, I don't know when it'll be posted again. I don't know when we're going to be doing another one. But me and Charcy doing the Little Channel of Horrors. Be back again with Tremors. We'll be covering Tremors 2 as well. So watch that too. I'm thinking we're going to probably post that Saturday. I'm hoping. So, yeah, get on that, dude. I think I have it. I'm pretty sure I have that channel attached to this channel. So, yeah, like, get on that. It's a good show, man. But thank you for watching this one, because this one's a good one, too. And join me next time, the retrospective. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about all of them. Rankings. Everyone loves rankings. Ooh.